this is my channel. So since E3 is just around the corner, only one sleep away from me, I figured I would finally go ahead and make my E3 predictions video. It's not particularly thought-provoking. I'm kind of not the best person at deciding things that might happen. I tend to take either a very out there stance of ridiculous things that have such a slight chance of happening it's not even funny, or a very safe road where everyone watching just says, yeah, of course that's gonna happen, what else? And you know, I tried to do my best, but this probably isn't going to be a massive mind-blowing video. However, it is going to be about things that I'm very excited to hear, some things that I am happy for, some things that I might not be too happy for, and I figured I would go ahead and share that with you guys today. For this video, I'll be looking at the big three that we're always interested in at E3, them being Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. The other conferences, presentations, and everything on the show floor is also super interesting to me, but I figured for the sake of trying to keep things to a reasonable length, I'd just concentrate on the big main fighters. On to our first contender of this year, which is Microsoft. At E3 this year, my prediction is that Microsoft are very obviously going to be doing some major damage control, trying to win back some fans over the backlash from the Xbox One's reveal, and the policies they have regarding DRM and online connectivity with the Xbox One. Microsoft have come out and said they will be concentrating solely on the games this year at E3, since they've already gone over a number of other features of the Xbox One at its reveal back in May. This means that either A, they'll stick to their word and give us a great presentation, we'll learn some more about the console's games and its gaming features, or B, they will concentrate mostly on games, but whenever they do mention anything not gaming related, they will get more hate and more backlash. That being said, I think that whatever Microsoft do at E3 this year, be it announcing some brand new IPs with things we've never seen before in games, or bringing back some beloved childhood franchises, or announcing some mind-blowing new gaming features on the Xbox One, we, the gamers, the majority of us at least, will still find something to complain about and be unhappy about. It's not that we're so entitled that we feel like anything Microsoft can give us isn't good enough. It's just that at this point, most gamers and most people online who are interested in the Xbox One have a very negative view of what Microsoft are doing right now, and are very likely to be able to find flaws in whatever they announce. In the event that Microsoft bring us a brand new IP featuring gameplay we've never even thought of, and new themes and features that we couldn't even fathom before now, well, that's fantastic, but I still can't play it without an internet connection on my Xbox One. Or what if they announce the return of a cherished childhood series for so many of us, like hypothetically a bear and bird duo? Well, that's great, but I'm sure they'll still manage to screw it up like, hypothetically, nuts and bolts. Or what if Microsoft do finally come out and give us some more information about the gaming features on the Xbox One, and they turn out to be amazing and incredibly mind-blowing? I'm arguing about this one on the internet. Next contender is Sony. Right now, Sony are definitely beating Xbox in the pre-E3 race, considering that the PS4 currently has 48 titles announced for it, including a number of exclusives, even though the console itself still has no price or date. And I'm sure that Sony are more than aware of this themselves, obviously being aware of the assault towards Microsoft recently over the Xbox One, but they'll be ready to head into E3 and completely kill it. This year, I'm expecting Sony to jump in and show us a whole bunch of trailers for announced and so far unannounced games. It's also about time I feel that the PS4 got a release date and cost. I'm expecting the release date to be sometime this year, probably around holiday season, and the cost being competitive enough to compete with the Xbox One, but still way too expensive for Australia. Why do the gaming companies hate Australia? This year, I feel like Sony are going to be concentrating most of their energy into the PS4, considering it is their brand new console, and therefore probably ignoring the Vita a little bit this year. This makes sense, I guess, because it is the brand new console, but it kind of feels like the PS4 is the new baby of the family, and therefore no one really cares about the Vita and what it's doing anymore. That being said though, I feel like Sony will pay enough attention to the Vita to remind us that it's out there. They might show off some compatibility features between the PS4 and the Vita, and they might take this opportunity to announce a price drop on the Vita itself, maybe to compete with 3DS a little bit more than it is right now. And speaking of the 3DS brings us to our final of the big three contenders, that being Nintendo. While Nintendo aren't planning a massive large-scale presentation at E3 this year like the other developers, they're choosing instead to focus on shorter Nintendo Directs focused at more specific areas of the world, hopefully to avoid things like what I like to call New Leaf Syndrome, which is where they announce a game at E3 then 3 years later, finally release it outside of Japan. I feel like it's pretty hard for Nintendo to disappoint their fans at E3, because they have such a specific smallish amount of franchises featuring long-time loved characters. Most of these characters and franchises do tend to make an appearance at most of the E3s, meaning that no matter what specific series you favourite Nintendo, you'll normally see one of your favourite characters appearing. And I feel that this year will be no different, with Nintendo probably focusing more on the Wii U than the 3DS, because the 3DS finally has itself a great backlog of games, a great library behind it, whereas the Wii U is still only not even a whole year old, and it's still probably getting onto its feet there and getting some good franchises behind it. We do already know that Nintendo are planning to show us Mario Kart on the Wii U and Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U and 3DS this year, which is amazing, and even if Nintendo don't show us anything new or don't announce anything further, I feel like just based off these two games, which is such a massive series for them, most Nintendo fans would be happy with just that if that was all that we got. There is one prediction that I do have for Nintendo at E3 this year that I hope is wrong. I would love to be proven wrong on this, but I feel like they're probably not going to announce a new Zelda game for the Wii U this year. The reason for this is simply because they've already announced Wind Waker HD and they're working on that. They've already announced a new Link to the Past style game for 3DS and are working on that. Plus, they've recently been releasing a whole ton of the older series on the 3DS library. They're definitely working on a number of Zelda things right now, and I just don't feel like, with 2 games on the way already, that they'll really have room on their plate to start promoting and announcing and revealing parts of a 3rd game. Like I said though, I really hope I'm proven wrong on that last part there, because I would love to see a brand new Zelda game announced for Wii U. I just don't want to get too excited and then have my hopes let down when they don't show one at E3. But anyway guys, that is pretty much my idea of what's going to go down at E3 this year. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to leave me some sort of comment below so I can go ahead and read all your ideas for what'll happen at E3, what you think of my ideas, and anything else that you'd like to leave below. Don't forget you can find me on Tumblr and Facebook and Twitter. Keep in mind, people who follow me on Twitter, I will be tweeting all throughout E3. Very exciting tweets. I'm sure a lot of them will be kind of hard to read because I'll be so excited, but it should still be fun. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at the link that's on the screen right now. But otherwise, again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon for more gaming news after E3. Bye!